Look closely at modern spaces today, and you will find deep, systemic oppression operating right in plain sight. An estimated 770,000 people in India are forced into manual scavenging, the practice of cleaning human waste by hand from dry toilets and open sewers. Almost all belong to Dalit communities. Dalit is a Marathi word meaning the broken or the ground down ones. On January 26, 1950, the Indian Constitution came into force. Article 17 explicitly made the practice of untouchability a criminal offense. Despite that legal protection, India's National Crime Records Bureau, the government agency responsible for collecting crime data, registered over 51,000 violent crimes against Dalit people in 2022. That arithmetic breaks down to one registered crime every 10 minutes. The caste system has survived Mughal rule, British colonialism, and 7 decades of a democratic republic. To understand why it refuses to die, we have to look at how its foundations were engineered 3.5 millennia ago. Archaeological excavations at Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro reveal clear neighborhoods separated by specialized occupational groups. This stratification existed roughly 3,300 years before the Common Era, long before religious texts justified it. The earliest religious texts described varna, a Sanskrit term meaning color, outward appearance, or form. Originally, this ancient system categorized society into 4 flexible roles based on personal conduct and occupation, rather than simply by birth. The transition to rigid heredity happened gradually, culminating in texts like the Manusmriti. The Manusmriti is an ancient prescriptive legal manuscript composed between 200 BCE and 200 CE. It encoded strict, birth-based inequality, prescribing physical mutilation for lower castes violating its rules. Over centuries, the 4 broad Varna categories fractured into over 46,000 jatis. These highly granular, birth-based micro-hierarchies gave nearly every oppressed group another community slightly below them to discriminate against, preventing a unified political consciousness. It was a perfectly engineered mechanism for social control, organizing cheap labor while dividing potential resistance. In 1872, the British colonial census required every Indian to register under a single standardized rank. They took a localized, highly complex social arrangement and poured permanent legal concrete over it. People fought this hierarchy continuously. In the 6th century BCE, Siddhartha Gautama built his monastic community on explicitly non-caste principles. Centuries later, Bhakti poet saints like Kabir and Ravi Das bypassed Brahmin priests entirely. In 1848, Jyoti Rao and Savitribai Phule opened India's first school for lower caste earls. That unbroken chain of resistance peaked with B.R. Ambedkar. He was a highly educated Dalit scholar and the chief architect of the Indian Constitution, who dedicated his entire life to dismantling the intellectual foundations of the caste system. On December 25, 1927, Ambedkar ceremonially burned the Manusmriti in a public fire. 2 decades later, he embedded sweeping legal protections directly into the founding document of independent India. Yet, despite thousands of years of intellectual rebellion and the full force of constitutional law, the architecture of caste remained stubbornly, completely intact. If the laws were rewritten and the resistance was relentless, why did the hierarchy survive? First, it operates as a highly efficient economic trap. Upper caste communities have spent centuries accumulating disproportionate access to land, capital, and professional networks. The system reliably reproduces that wealth across generations. Second, modern electoral politics incentivizes its survival. Politicians frequently win elections by mobilizing voters along specific caste lines, ensuring that the identity remains politically useful and active in daily life. The third and most critical pillar is endogamy. Endogamy is the strict social requirement to marry only within your own specific caste or subcaste, guaranteeing the hierarchy is transmitted biologically to the next generation. This pie chart visualizes the scale of that transmission. Nearly 75 years after the Constitution was written, only about 5% of Indian marriages cross caste lines. In 1936, Ambedkar wrote that caste is not a physical wall of bricks or barbed wire. It is a notion, and destroying it requires a notional change, a total shift in what a society believes to be true. Dismantling this system will not be a passive historical event. It requires an active, daily refusal by every generation to accept that human worth is decided by the accident of birth.